Hi everybody, our fairy here. Time for Floss Tube. So, I'm so excited. These are my finishes. I actually have finishes. Da da da. Weeds by Carolyn Manning Designs. It's finished. This is Blue Violet's fabric with a bunch of different threads, and you've seen it a million times, so I'm not going to show it up too close, not until we get it done in pillowcase form anyway. All of them are becoming pillowcases. You can see Nifty 50 is down here, my quilt. I'm so excited. That's finished. Y2K is in a box out there, and it's getting ready to get shipped out. So while you can't call it finished, it's going somewhere. And as you all know, 2020 is right around the corner. So we've got an update to the board. I'm still lagging really far behind on this one and this one. This one, Fabi Riley has her 2 finishing sections have already been released, and I'm way back here on like the lid of the box. I will get it done. And the Sansus hasn't been touched, nor has what is this, Death by Cross Stitch? No, Pilgrim's Progress. But I will get back to them. The reason why I haven't is I was supposed to start Nevermore because it was supposed to finish by Edgar Allan Poe's birthday, which is like January 19th. Maybe it'll be a start date of January 19th instead. There's a few of us in that one. And then the Linens and Threads is actually completed now. All of the clues have come out, which included for November a border. And I can't hang with doing just the border without like the body of the work, because every bloody time I end up with like a mess. So all it is, if I can get back to it, where I've finished some of it, is this little bit of a different design. So I went with the same colors as was in there. Here, let me get this out. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So now you can see what I've done. I've gone a little crazy. A lot of people did theirs in one color, but I am such a peacock that there's no way I could do a peacock sow in anything but rainbows. So we've got purple, blue, turquoise, green, yellow, orange, and then it's going to be red and pink, something like that. And then I'm going to go back to the purple and then go back down to this here corner, and it's going to end up with blues back there, so it'll be nice. I find that it's very difficult to stitch vertically. I don't really like vertical stitching. I get really confused, and I don't know if that's my diseases or if it's just the fact that I'm blonde. Of course, am I a blonde? I've always said that if it holds still long enough, I'll dye it. So my hair is dyed pink, and you really can't tell. I hope you can tell. And I have this nifty little do in it. It's curly locks. These are what are they called? Teeswater locks. And they're attached just to a little clamp. And then there's beads on them. And some of them have large beads. You can find these in my daughter's Etsy shop. And I use it to cover up my bald spot. There's the pink. Isn't it fun? And there's a kitty back there. She loves that. I left all my pillows there and covered it with a sweater, and she just, it's hog heaven for her. Okay. Sorry about the red face. Not a thing I can do about it. Rubbers for fingers. Love these things, especially for cross stitch and like for holding on to pins for stitching. And speaking of pins, these are called magic, and they are bloody magic. They have these curls on the tips. Where's the camera? Yeah, not so much. And because of that, the texture, they're easy to grab, and they're just nicely long size, and you can iron over them. That's like the best of it. I absolutely love that you can iron over a pin and it's not going to hurt it and melt it. And yeah. Okay, so remember I've been talking about this Ellen Strohmeyer project with the floral theme, and it's a blanket, right? Saw that thing, went a little bit crazy. I have to have it. And so I've been working on this, working on getting the stuff together for it for like ever. And I just realized that I dyed the center panel but didn't dye the side panels. So I'm going to have like a multicolored thing going on here, which is really bad. Finally, after trying to set this puppy up in the front room and deciding it wasn't working, I went ahead and pulled it all down and I bought myself a floor stand. I know, insanity reigns, but I love the easy stitch method or the roll scroll frames, and so I made this frame, and obviously it's not working because I have too much length, so I'm going to have to either cut this down or sew it down or something to make it have less stuff there, but I did get a start on it. Yay! I'm glad that I was able to get a start. I changed a lot of the reds to purpley pinky raspberry colors because I'm kind of a raspberry girl and not so much of a red girl. Who am I kidding? I'm not a girl anymore. So yeah, this is all the yarn for it. And my daughter's like, oh, you're never going to finish it. You're never even going to start on it. So she's probably right. We'll see. Depends on everything that happens, like, in my life. It depends on, you know, my sicknesses and how I deal with them. And sometimes I'm up and at 'em and I'm like, let's quilt. And other times I'm like, let's lay down. And that's when the cross stitch is nice because I have that. So, oh, I forgot to start with hit the bell with the scribe. That's what my daughter calls it. She says that you need to subscribe and click on the bell. And I need to tell you, you can contact me at yarnfairy1@gmail.com. Okay. And I am going to link down in the notes there the place where her URL for her shop and the URL for our Facebook group. We have a group because there's little sales going on, and I thought it'd be nice if we had a place to congregate. So it's Yarn Fairy and the Pixies Floss Tube, I think. Yeah, that sounds about right. But I'll put it down there. Okay, I was going to be ambitious and teach you guys how to make the frame, but pretty self-explanatory. You just get some dowels and you drill out the holes. You start with a very small drill. I recommend buying a set of drill bits and starting with a really small one and growing up, and just you keep hitting it until you can get the double-ended screw into it. I have all these numbers and everything, and I just not real good with numbers. So it was just hit or miss, and I just kept buying the double-ended screws and knobs and wing nuts until I found the right sizes. I probably should figure that out, though, because I would like to make more of them as I go. This one at 40-something inches was probably, maybe it's 48 inches, was probably, you know, like $100. So I'm sure it didn't cost me anything near that. So making them is definitely a good thing to do. I made a little thing. Uh-oh. Don't tell me I lost it. Oh, here we go. Because I can never go back to something and remember which side is the correct side. I made these discs, and they're on a removable pin. And it says this side up. If anybody wants them, holler. I've got them. Boy, we're just cruising right through this list of mine. Okay, now, Carolyn Manning. You know me and my love of Carolyn Manning. She published her list. Sorry, you guys, I'm sick, as you can see. she published her list of 2020 sales. And the first one that she published was a year of bouquets. And it's just little bouquets, each one different, just like the... What did I do of hers? Each one was different. The trees. Remember the trees? And each one reflected the season. So this was winter, spring, summer, and fall. And so I figure she'll probably do something like that, or maybe she's just going along with different flowers or whatever. However she's going to accomplish it, she published this. So I immediately bought it because it's Carolyn Manning and it's a sale and it's flowers and that's like me. Then she published this one, the fairy bouquet. I went nuts because yarn fairy. So I went to my stock of ready dyed, and I had already dyed fabric for the bouquet one and everything, and I'm just like, put it away, you're not doing that one. So I'm starting with sky and going into, you know, grass, and then into sands and dirts, and there will be 4 different sections of them. And then I went to my threads that we have dyed. Gosh, you guys, this is terrible. I'm shaking. I don't know if it's probably my meds. It's got to be my meds. I'm going to the doctor tomorrow and they'll tell me if I'm dying. Kidding. Sort of. Anyway, these are the purples. And these are bamboo. See the shine that you get with it? I just love these things. And the greens. Just 2. And the silk. It's just a single ply. I'm going to use however many I need to get up to a 14 count. I just love this. She's at Carolyn Manning, or is she at CM Designs? Yep, it doesn't have the URL. That's weird. Of course, I got to go to see the eye doctor again. I can't see. Yep, I don't know. I think it's CM Designs for some reason now that I'm thinking about it. But anyway, that is the fairy bouquet. And if you guys want, let's sell it. I really want to. Oh man, I wish I had a picture of my felted sheep. So there's this pattern you can buy at Etsy. It's a black quilt of felt, and you use other pieces of felt and curly locks from sheep and raw felt and ribbons and cotton, crochet cotton pearl, that stuff. And you make these little blocks that you then put together into a larger quilt. A friend of mine and I are doing it, and it's a wall hanging we're going to do, and I've got all this felt in, and I am dyeing it next week, and I'm really thrilled to just get to it because it's so pretty. It's so pretty with a black background. And you know, you can add things like your little dog who takes care of the sheep, and the little watering hole that every sheep has to have their water. Cheers! And so on. So that's felted sheep. I even have another of the fairy bouquet. This is for month 1, if anyone's interested. Okay. Now, did that. Wow, we're really close to being done. Merry Mayhem. This is a quilting thing. Merry Mayhem. Every year on January 1st, they put out a quilt mystery. And you get the fabric in advance, and then you sit down and you quilt. Me and my daughter used to do this year after year, and we said that we would get together no matter where we were in the world, and we would come together for this quilt. I think the fabric's cool. They're not me. I don't like greens so much, but I sure do like the ombre look of the multis here. They're very pale for me, obviously, but lots of fun. Anyway, I'm going to ask her if she wants to do that because I think it'd be fun. We haven't been able to do it for years since I've been sick, but you can always go back to things. Can I just talk to you for a minute about insanity? Oh my gosh. So I went on Etsy. I finished the Y2K quilt, and I was all, oh man, it's done. So I went on Etsy, and for about $60, I bought like 800 6-inch squares so that I can make another, scrap quilt. And then I start going around the house, and I'm looking, and I'm like, oh no. I have 3 boxes this size full of 6-inch, 5.5-inch, mostly squares. And then I have a double wedding ring quilt that I started that was going to be rainbow like I do. And yeah, it's stamped, those stamps by Kate. I don't know if you remember those things from years ago. And my kids and I just went around and we stamped it like crazy. And this must have been 6 years ago now, because it was for my son for his wedding. Didn't happen. I've got a small wall hanging size is what I've got now. It was a black background. It's really beautiful. I'll have to show it to you one day. Anyway, so I've got these 2 boxes full, and the third with the double wedding ring, and I probably have more if I think about it for a while. I'm not going to think about that. So while I was searching for what to do with this stuff, I found this beauty. See that line in the middle? It's snail's trails, but it's got stars in it and little stars around it, and it gradiates from the green, purple, blue. That's me. Purple, blue, and green is my colors. So I went a little crazy thinking I have got to make one out of snail's trails. I remember wanting to make this a long time ago. I don't know if that will be the next one or if it will be a more scrappy. I was thinking of 4 patches so that you could have, the diagonal lines that go along and then alternate in the box, just like the Y2K quilt, because that was a lot of fun and I really enjoyed it, and you get some stunning results. This is a wall hanging for a swap that I'm doing in Worldwide Quilting. Their page, they're like a bulletin board is what they used to be, a BBS, but now they're like a forum. It's a forum. Okay, so when I sewed my Y2Ks, I took a 3-inch square, light to dark, zipped down the center, cut off the other side, and threw it away for like most of the quilt. Then when I was doing it just recently, I was like, why am I throwing these out? All I have to do is run 2 seams, cut them, and I will have a bunch of HSTs, half square triangles. So I kept them this time. So this is my wall hanging. Which might go this way. I really have no idea. I think I'll put a sleeve on both ends because the person who's receiving this is going to be like, okay, whatever. I don't know which way it goes. But I was thinking like, I don't know, some kind of bird-like thing this way. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I did this, and it's fun, and I really miss quilting, and I love it, and I'm really glad I'm getting back into it, because you have like, this stuff, and you sew it, and it turns into this other stuff, and to me, that's just like, that's such a great blessing, to be able to send them down to the other people that you live with, and warm their beds, minds and hearts is just, it's awesome. So check it out. You remember me being all excited about my light? Well, it was having flicker issues, and I was having issues with the AC/DC cord. So I bought a universal cord after looking through about 50 different cords that we had in the house that we saved for the last 20 years. Shoot, I got rid of them all. Somebody's here. Cats, right? Anyway, I got this hot light, and it was like a lot of money, and I bought it used first, and then I was like, oh, what have I done? It's defective. They shouldn't be sending this out. So I sent it back saying defective all over it, and then I went to buy it again, and I was like, hello, it's used. Okay, so I'm going to pay the full price. So I paid full price and bought this one. It doesn't work. It's not long enough. You have, okay, this much room to get over to your work and where you need to, So what do I do is what I want to know about the rest of this that I can't get to because it won't reach. So I'm thinking about putting the end of this frame up on a table, like maybe moving it that way. I don't know what to do. If anybody has any brilliant ideas, please put it in the comments below because I'm new to this. This is the time of year that I always knit hats. And I found this lovely base, dye everything, right? It's black and white and gray and white, and so it looks almost like a homespun. And this time of year, I make hats. So I made hats with Angora palms. Aren't they cute? This one just came off the needles last night. It's a little special. See how it's got, yeah, it's got a cable. I just love these things. If you need a hat, let me know. Can you believe it? That's all. 20 minutes. Cha-ching! I can hardly believe it. I can't believe that's all the time I took to do this, because normally, hour and a half later, girl, you're still talking. Would you please shut up? I was encouraged. I went to our YouTube channel and I checked the stats, and you guys are there and you're listening. So I'm going to keep doing this so long as somebody's listening. All I need is one person to listen. I used to think that all I needed was one person to comment, but I find out that I don't need comments. I'm terrible. I can sit here and talk to you guys for hours and have nobody talking back. So if you have anything to say, leave a comment. If not, I'll be here next time. Bye.